Hello, everyone. Welcome to one of our matches here for the NACL OQ. My name is Shinkari. I'm joined by Orbital, and here we are on the Rift of one of our 1 and 3 matches from Sunday. We have on the blue side, we've got It's Doomed, and on the red, we've got Carolina Reapers. Now, we might, if y'all know the Carolina Reapers lineup, we're going to mention this kind of very quickly. We've had a whole lot of lane swaps from Carolina Reapers coming into their final match of the day. I think for a lot of these folks, once it comes to 1 and 3, you're not making it into the next round of Swiss. A lot of folks might be taking it a little bit more easy and just be like, hey, we're just gonna kind of play whatever, and that's totally fine. I think like that's a completely fine. And then if not, they're trying to experiment with different, that's also fine. True, that's also true, fine as well. But here we are. We're on the Rift. We're excited. I'm ready to get this game underway. Orbital, you ready?
I am more than ready. So you can go ahead and take a look. Before we actually start it up, we do have to mention the original lineup, which we saw
Yeah.
was Bob Timer, and it's on the right side of your screen. It's Bob Timer, Stova, Limerence, I believe it is Ronnie or Romy, and then Jimmy Coy is actually who's supposed to be in that order. We right now have Rami, Bob Timer, Limerence, Jimmy Coy, and Stova. So this is it's going to be interesting. We'll see how it plays out. I'm personally excited because at the end of the day, it is quite fun, right? Like this is what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be here to show and kind of show off your own skill and how well you can play. At the current moment, this is the best way to do it. Have fun with the game, get a little bit silly, and we will have a blast.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm excited for Uwu cutesy bot lane.
Yeah.
I don't think we can have a bot lane combo that's cuter than Yuumi and Smolder. So, oh, we're even duking it out in the mid lane. Oh, we love to see
this
it.
is respect. I like this.
Yeah.
Pure respect. Okay, this is what League of Legends is about, everyone. This is League. I want all these players on my team. I want all of these players on my team. This is. Oh. Take it in. Hold on. I got it. There we go. There we go. There we go.
Just absorb it.
Oh, man. Also,
yeah, there were a couple of auto attacks that went off, but that just happens, automatically. So, I don't think any BM was happening here. 5-point start for both teams. I think it's just going to be, no one's going to be invading, just regular starts. We're just having a good time here in League of Legends.
Yep, I actually lost the player frames because I'm bad at I clicked a button and it all went away. I was like, whoops. So, yeah, getting into it. Team composition-wise, I love that you mentioned that there was a little bit of silliness with the Smolder and the Yuumi. And this combination is not one we normally see, right? One, Yuumi has been out of the meta for a really, really long time. Number two, Smolder needs someone beside them. Like, someone actually beside them to help body block, lay down damage, do something. Because you are just supposed to harass. That's how you get your stacks up to 225. At the current moment, Minarima and Sam are going to have a fantastic time in this bot lane. At least that's what I feel right now.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I agree with you as well. There's a lot of harass tools between these two characters as well that's going to make laning just a real big problem. As Romy, I saw another team that was running this Udyr, and this with the Doran's Ring start, just that Phoenix stance is so terrible to deal with, especially if you're Gragas. The normal tools you have in order to deal with top laners just is completely negated by all that additional damage. So it's going to be a real tough time up in that top lane for Romy there. 67 is going to have a very, very easy time up there on the Udyr as well.
I gotta pose a question because I'm not too familiar with the matchups, but considering that these are both melee matchups, I almost feel like it might have been a better idea to almost put Limerence actually in the top side and allow this Yone, which we know can actually scale very well. Obviously, into Udyr might not be the same, but it could help. And then the Gragas in the mid lane has maybe a little bit more kill threat, especially comboed with that Sejuani. But either way, it'll be fun to watch. Right now, huge invade, though, from Prod trying to clear out the jungle and now actually going back. So triple sides for this Lee Sin feels really, really good.
Yeah, and there's no vision placed down by the Carolina Reapers either, so this is completely unknown so far, it seems. And this means that, like you said, Lee Sin is going to get 3 sides of the jungle here, 3 out of the 4 quadrants, and that's going to be lickety split as well. He's already in there. If Sejuani comes down and notices, it's going to be far, far too late.
I actually apologize. So it wasn't triple side. I saw the invade and I was wondering what it was. It was actually Prod just looking for a gank.
Okay.
So both of them actually started on the bot side, which is okay. It just surprised me a little bit, right? So it's actually just even, and they're actually going to meet in this topside river.
Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be the first meeting of the junglers here as well, but it looks like Sejuani got caught out here, and Blonde might be in some trouble here in the mid lane. Blonde going towards the tower here, trying to find an escape path. Flash over the wall. Good shield. Prod is going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but the red buff is ticking inside their own jungle here. Prod ward hops away. Orianna gets out. No first blood just yet here.
Okay, I thought they were going to meet, but Bob said, hey, I have a better gank in the mid lane, which is the correct call, right? You don't actually want to do a Lee Sin if you don't have mid prio, but with that TP, Blonde is more than ready to fight with Blood, but the wave is just a little bit too strong. So Bob Timer and Limerence do get away, but with the amount of pressure you put down, you got triple summoners out of it. I think you're pretty happy if you're Carolina Reapers.
Yeah, that looks really good here. At first, I was a little worried
God.
because I saw Rod just kind of waiting. No, dude. This is, usually we expect this from Scions, but I guess you can do that as well if you're an Udyr. It's just, I guess if you see, like if you just see Bob Timer just down there in mid lane for so long, you can just kind of do that uncontested there, and you just have such a good matchup into Gragas, who doesn't have any mana at this stage now, is just now backing. That's just the freest proxy you can do for the whole time there. Like, that's just real easy there. Oh, he stopped the back. That's interesting.
Okay, don't recall just yet. It's not bad. It's not a bad situation to be in, but you can see the pings going down, and because of that, Prod is like, yo, I'm chilling, right? I'm happy about the current situation. I'm more than okay in this spot because now I get grubs. I also get contest on the dragon. If I so wish, Midorima and Sam can come help me out because Jimmy Koi, I mean, Smolder's not going to roam. Not at this current time. You're not winning the lane. You need to CS up. You need to get this farm. So if you roam out for this dragon to be different, so it really is just up to Prod if you so wish to get it. Look at that. Look at the chunk that Midorima is able to lay down here. Jimmy Koi can't really stand up. You're farming procs, yeah, but the CS may or may not start to explode here in a bit.
Yeah, it's weird because Vayne is very much a late game champion, but sometimes she just she can explode in like very early game situations. Like she's sometimes like what I define as a right now champion. If she has a lead on you at all, she will be able to stress that a lot. So even in these cases where it's just like, oh, this is a late game champion, I shouldn't have to worry. Sometimes that third auto attack, that third silver bolt does a lot more damage than you're expecting. 67 up in the top lane, notched into the corner, but here we go. We're still looking for Blonde. Stunned, low HP underneath the turret. Can't quite get it pulled back to the Spirit at just the last second. Blonde once again surviving by the skin of their teeth as Prod. Now looking for Bob Timer one more time. The stun comes out, throws out the slow, but they're still looking for the damage. The auto attack comes through from Midorima. They're just going to walk away. They've got the grubs, they've got first blood. I think they're pinging for Dragon right now too.
I mean, the pings went down if they so wish, but it looks like the call was made not to. But, I mean, that was one of the worst scenarios that you could ever have in that bot lane, right? Giving a kill over to Vayne, not only that, first blood, you're in a great spot here. 67, are you going to take that? No, okay. If that tower shot had gone off, Romy would have had kill threat. But,
yeah.
Taking a look at the mid lane, again, that is now the second time that Bob Timer and Limerence have tried to make a play in the mid lane, and the second time that Blonde has gotten away pretty much for free. Like, that should have been a kill. That should have been a kill. It didn't. You now gave a kill over, so for the side of Carolina Reapers, you are actually a little bit frustrated about this.
Yeah, this is, and not to mention, this is also the second time Orianna has nearly died. But here we go.
Now it's even worse.
Oh no.
Romy tried to go in with a belly slam and hit a minion, so that whole gank just unfortunately fell apart.
Yikes. Holy, I mean, it's like the worst. It's just one worst case scenario after another here for Carolina Reapers.
Much, yeah.
It's like, hey, we got Blonde. Oops, they survived with single digit HP. Oop, we got Blonde again. Survived with single digit HP. Uh-oh, we gave first blood to Vayne. Oh no, we messed up a gank onto this Udyr who's been punishing our Gragas super hard all game. Is now might get another fight in the mid lane as well. In the bot lane, Prod looking for it. Dragon Strike gonna knock Jimmy Koi backwards. There's gonna be Prod picking up that kill. It's now Strova, nowhere to go. The catch just, they're just gonna emote. Hey, I know what's up. Yep, there it is. Midorima's gonna pick up the next kill there. As once again, Blonde survives with none HP again for the third time. You cannot kill Blonde. You can't do it.
the direction cam knew better, right? The direction
Yeah.
cam knew better. And you take a look, Limerence didn't actually use ult. That's why Blonde was allowed to live. It's this feeling of we are going to get the kill with the snap of the E, right? With that soul link damage. It's not happening. And because of that, right now, the reason that we're talking about this, and there's going to be the ult, this might be the chase down that they want.
Yeah,
No.
they have to be very good. Not again. And they were spawn camping the Yasuo too. He goes in. So once again, Orbital, Blonde. He's just surviving with nothing. I don't know how he does it. I don't know if he found like the most amount of rabbit's foots possible. Like if he just has like a collection of horseshoes like in his closet. Like if he's got like a whole garden full of 4-leaf clovers, but like single digits every single time, this guy.
It's brutal, and that leaves a lot more to be desired, right? You take a look at the situation that's occurring. The ganks out of Lee Sin are working pretty much 100% of the time. 2-0-2, 100% kill participation. Bob Timer has been trying to gank. As this is one of you do want to gank, and you're doing well. However, the ganks have not worked. Because of that, danger is abound. Ultimate traded in the bot side, or at least just out of Jimmy Coy and team. And I mean, this is what's happening. The pressure that's building up from the side of It's Doomed. It's looking way better than It's Doomed. It's great.
Yeah, it's not doomed. It's great.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. I fail at these right now.
It's all right. You got it. Limerence looking for Blonde. The damage is good. Bob Timer trying to fight off Prod over on the jungle there as he hops forward.
So
There's the Dragon Strike over to Orianna. Going to charge away. Flash forward. Q follows it up. Prod on a killing spree is once again Midorima throwing out that straight down to bot lane. Real good job in that mid lane there.
Yeah, at this point for It's Doomed, it's really how quickly do you want to end the game, right? The composition that is built by Carolina Reapers is predicated on the fact that you need to at least get a strong early game going, right? The Gragas was supposed to have some sort of value. Gragas mid to late doesn't actually do that much, and you can't really contest. You're at that point a glorified support later on. Mid lane Limerence, this Yone, yes, can scale up to the mid to late, but you need a good early game to really have effect later on. And bot side, I mean, we don't even have to talk about bot side.
Yeah, 67 might finally, after all this time, finally perish. Bob Timer's going to be the one picking up the kill after the Glacial Prison there. But, man, they lost first brick to this Udyr, who has just been nothing but a nuisance to this Gragas up in the top lane.
It took a while, but the damage is done, right? Like, what is it? One death for a tower, a 20 CS difference over your lane opponent, and multiple, I would say multiple draft stacks. 67 is looking fine right now, and that is the first time Bob Timer has actually been successful in a gank. It's the first kill for the team, and right now, that's going to be even worse. I do apologize again. The timers, I messed up the timers again because we really do got to keep track of it, right? Dragon went down earlier, much earlier, and with 2 minutes left until the second, it'll be another question mark. For Prod, are you going to go for these dragons, or are you going to keep applying lane pressure and get the dragons later on?
Yeah, I mean, luckily the timers on the Rift Herald and the Dragon are about 20 seconds apart, so you can probably very easily get the Dragon because you've got so much bot prio, right? Like, you've got so much prio down here. There's really not a whole lot that Jimmy Coy and Strova have been able to do in order to apply pressure. Bob Timer shows up, but, you know, it's much too late. Like, ultimates have already been popped. Limerence in the mid lane, once again, fighting Blonde. Still not enough to seal the deal quite yet. Here we go. Underneath the turret, Midorima still looking for a little bit more. Does get a plate. A little skirmish between the two junglers up there, but oh my, wow, Shinderu! Limerence finally picks up the kill there as 67 shows up to the mid lane, is like, hey, remember me fighting your Gragas? It's like, I'm also a threat too to you.
Oh
as
my
Midorima,
god.
oh no,
Jesus
ultimate
Christ.
flash rumble, one auto. The Vayne is like, hey, I'm in this video game too. You thought you were just fighting Orianna. Absolutely not.
I mean, that feels good, right? You go ahead, shut down Limerence. You don't allow that Yone to get off the ground. It was only 1 kill. And now on the bot side might be even more so.
Yeah, and they don't even need these ultimates in order to keep them up here. Jimmy Coy taking so much damage. Midorima has taken some good damage in response. Flash forward to try to get the kill, but it's not going to be good enough as Strova once again nowhere to go. A kitty to a good home in hell. As now Bob Timer looking for 67 here, going to be able to land the knock up here. The CC immune for just a little bit longer. The stun is good. Limerence looking for it. There's the Glacial Prison taken incredibly low. Limerence finds another. Yone 2 and 2 now finally on the scoreboard.
I mean, you saw the CC immunity wear off. 67 had no out, and you're safe, but the bot lane is even worse right now, right? Meteorima is now 4-0-3. Massive, massive lead, and we got to show that gold because 6K over 4.2, you're not cutting it close, right? At this current time. Meteorima, the only reason that fight looked close is because you burned everything chasing down a Yone. Like, that's the only reason it looked bad. So, really well done. The entirety of its Doom is looking strong. This dragon, even though spotted, if Meteorima and Sam actually choose to go up, it might be a different story. But, I mean, right now, Prod is actually a little bit worried about this. Okay, never mind.
Yep, immediately dive in, but it is 4v3, I believe, at this moment here. The rest of the team finally showing up. Prod still in some trouble inside the pit here. Hops over to Blonde over the wall. There's the resonating strike, goes in. Red team secures it, though. That's going to be the explosive cast finding one. This is looking really good. That's the Lost Chapter coming across, but they can't seem to find the roots just quite yet. Good time dodging around it as well. 67, half HP, but they're still looking to fight here. Midorima is very strong. Jimmy Koi playing very far forward. They're dancing around here, looking for a fight way into this fight. 67 still incredibly low. Good shockwave going to pull Bob Timer back in. That's going to be the ultimate from Yasuo coming across here, but it's not going to be able to find it. There's still the shutdown big for Midorima there. That's gigantic. 67 incredibly low. They're turning this fight around, but can they seal the deal? Blonde, half HP after Udyr goes down, but the campfire is going to keep him alive for just a little bit longer as the team splits to try to find both Milio and Orianna. They find Milio. Orianna goes down too, and it's doomed, has finally crumbled. The gods do bleed as Carolina Reapers are able to win just not only the dragon, but the fight as well.
And a huge part, as we're going to see Jimmy Koi, I think, get killed here. Yeah, I mean, I don't, depending on the Q, that's a jump forward. Okay, wow, Anger as Strove actually blocks? I think that's still death, right?
It's really close.
Oh my God!
No way!
Illegal moves.
Hello, this is the police. I'm not with your hands up.
That was hella green by Prod, by the way. That was hella green by the Lee Sin. But let's go back to the dragon, right? Because we did say that the Lee Sin, even though you're strong, you do need the rest of the team to kind of help out around there. And the reason that fight actually went the way of Carolina Reapers is because all the ults coming out of its Doom whiff. It was bad. It was very rough. This time, though, the Shockwave lands.
Yeah, Shockwave is big here. 67, very healthy now. Coming in, now turning onto Bob Timers below 50% HP. Romy has joined the fight, but here comes Jimmy Koi down to the bot lane. Flash away is going to save Bob Timer now. Blonde secured, snared up, and the damage is good. Prod is now joined the fight, looking for Romy, but look at where Midorima is. Comes in immediately, stuns against the wall. Jimmy Koi taking incredibly low, nowhere to go. The ultimate comes across, but it's not going to save them this time as the blue team is finally turning things around. You thought you could beat us. You thought you got a good win, but we're stomping any chance you think you have of coming out of this game positive to get another win for themselves.
And it goes back to what I was trying to say, but the teams love fighting right now, right? Yes, the kills look even, and I give that a lot of value, but look at the gold difference and look at where that gold's currently landing. Meteorima is too strong. If Meteorima lives, fight goes the way of its Doom. If Meteorima dies, it's about a 50-50. If you whip all the ults, then it leans into Carolina Reaper's favor. So that's kind of the conditions that we're watching for. And in about 70 to 80% of these fights, it is in the benefit of its Doom. It feels better. It was just in that dragon fight that, hey, the Shockwave missed, right? The Lee Sin kick didn't really land like you wanted, and the Udyr was very low, and Meteorima got taken out early. So with those conditions in mind, that's what we're kind of watching for, right? How do these later games play out? Because at the current moment, everything feels like it's in the pocket of its Doom, even though Yone is slowly starting to scale up. Jimmy Koi is starting to get stronger. They need really good team fights if they want to start breaking open this game.
Yeah, and that's really the big thing here too, right? Because if this game does go late, like it's real. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, 67 in some trouble here. Bob Timer and Romy trying to cut off the escape here. Explosive cast might have given them a little bit more space, but here comes Baby Dragon. He's coming in, getting the last bit of damage. Jimmy Koi doing his best to Joey Wheeler impression, getting the kill.
That's actually the fourth kill as well. I'm actually a little bit scared. 67 has done a good job in the early game of being a split push pressure. And they've done it before, but now 0-4-4, and Meteorima now getting a little bit value. One more attack can take it, not Are you gonna chase? You
It's,
are. Gonna
oh, they're
chase.
so
Oh my
going
God.
for it.
No,
The
that's
shield
so
is
greedy.
so good. No. No.
Not like
It's
this.
doomed. Why?
It's not like
I know.
this.
Yeah, I know it's the 1-3 match, but come on.
I'm. That's also around Dragon, which granted they'll be up for, but I'm like,
Yeah.
we're giving a lot of credit to Itzoom because they theoretically they should have that victory set, right? Like they have the scaling, they have better scaling, I should say, on their side, and they have really good scramble potential. If they keep walking in and allowing themselves to die, I am actually scared that the game can get out of control very quickly. This next Dragon, I think, is going to say a lot, depending if it's fought over or not. Take a look, everyone already kind of grouping around this territory.
Yeah, as now we're still kind of, like you said, this next dragon is going to show a lot here. This is the first Cloud Drake of the Cloud Soul map here, and we do have Carolina Reapers making their way down towards this dragon. Yet there's the initiation, maybe. 67 taking a bit of damage here after that belly bump. Blue team has some of the Rift Herald, which will probably go bot lane there, so they'll have to answer or start the fight soon, as the dragon is started up by it's doomed. Here's now Midorima might be caught out here. Glacial Prison still gets the stun, but not able to follow up with the rest of the team here. An ultimate from the dragon comes across as they dive right in, kick her away. Smolder still taken incredibly low here. The last chapters coming through. The roots are good. They're going to be able to find one. Midorima gets executed. They found two. Jimmy Coy, can you find three? He does. Emilio goes down as 67 is going to be the next target here. Smolder finds four. Jimmy Coy still alive, still looking for Blonde. Romy still low on HP. Jimmy Coy wants the Penta. Give him the Penta. Look at that good boy. He's so close. Goes over. He gets it. The Penta. He fails for it. It's 5 for 2. It's 5 for 2. The Penta is huge. This Smolder is now 10, 4, and 3.
What did I say, Shinkari? I said the team fight needed to be immaculate to come back into it, and it worked. They found Midorima early, and they said, hey, you're not allowed to fight. And granted, the Wombo combo coming out of Romy, Bob Timer, and Limerence was on point. Very, very clean. I loved it. I love all of what's happening right now for the side of Carolina Reapers in this kind of shakeup. We were wondering how this change in all of this value, right? They shifted around their entire roster for a little bit of fun, and it feels like the fun is giving them a lot of comfort. I know I set the expectation that, hey, Midorima is going to be scary. That's true. But when you can get jumped on, if you're not allowed to free fire, it's a problem. So the grouping from Carolina is looking cleaner and cleaner. 67, rest of the squad, these split pushing this guerrilla warfare needs to start kind of getting back in control.
Yeah, and that's really the big thing here. I think what tipped me off to that fight not really going well was kind of the positioning of Midorima in that fight. Everyone else was in the pit, and Midorima was way on the outside there, not really respecting the last positioning that they had seen from Carolina Reapers. As now, you might see a death brush here. Bob Tyner and Strova caught out here. Oh no, the cat not attached to anyone is going to go down after that shockwave. So one easy pickup here. Are they going to go for Baron? There's no way they do the 20-minute Baron here.
I think they could. They're gonna try it. They're gonna try their best, but it's gonna be a scary. Look at the TP coming in. Yeah, you got to pull away. No, are you really gonna say?
Okay, Midorima gets a pin against Romy here.
No.
But here comes Yone from across the wall. Midorima was not expecting that. A lot of burst damage already, and here comes Jimmy Coy in from the side there. Look at that burst. Holy moly. Jimmy Coy's going to be able to find one as we pan up to Bob Timer here. 67, 1v1. Make that a 3v1 as here comes Limerence and Romy here looking for that last bit of damage, but he's going to make out like a bandit, picking up that kill onto Sejuani. Limerence still in the area here, playing just a little bit. Ooh, picked up the Baron at least for a second there. Gonna be able to get away. Does not want to fight Blonde with not that much HP. Ends up being a 1-for-1 around the Baron pit.
I hate everything that's going on in this game right now, Shinkari. I'm like, you had a nasty lead, right? And granted, a lot of people might look at it and be like, yo, Orbital, you're wrong. And most likely I was. Don't get me wrong. I probably am. Like, I'm not the best at analyzing. But when you have, what is it, like 5 or 6 kills for free on your Vayne, you have Parada who's ahead on this lead, and you should be able to make plays without having too many mistakes. the main thing that feels like it's falling apart is almost 67, right? The split push is not coming through as well as you would really like. 2, 5, and 5, and then the team fights afterwards that kind of force into position have not went your way, and because of that, the one shining light that they need to scale up, Jimmy Koi, has been able to farm 11, 4, and 3, and then Limerence and Romy and Bob Timer, your only job is just find Midorima, right? Find that Vayne, kill the Vayne, and you're good, and Jimmy Koi can do the rest.
Yeah, and that's really the big difference here, right? Like, a lot of the gold right now is on Vayne for it's doomed. And if they can just single out Vayne, then it's all over, right? Vayne doesn't have any sort of defensive itemization at this point. It's all offenses now. Blonde might get caught out, but they're immediately going to dash away. 67 is in the pit. This Baron is below half HP. That Lost Chapter did go out at an odd angle, so I don't think it's going to land on anyone because the HP bars are still falling down. Romy fighting 67. Here's Jimmy Koi trying to keep that distance as much as he can here. Is going to be the first to fall. Limits is going to ultimate in. Smolder finds one. Let's see if they're able to find 267 on top of the baby dragon here. They're going to be able to steal the Baron, and that's big, but they have to kill these members of the blue team here if they want to be able to get any value off of this here. Jimmy Koi still looking for more. Blonde does have that execute mark on their HP bar, but it's not going to be enough to finish them off. They're going to be able to walk away here, but Limerence is still on the hunt. Prod finds him out. There's the burst damage from the Q here, trying to heal up, maybe off the Raptors. Finds Blonde, but Blonde is going to immediately do the damage. Now Jimmy Koi joined in the fight, looking for it now. 2v2, Smolder and Yuumi. Blonde and Prod still can't quite find it. Yuumi Q lands. Blonde nowhere to go. Jimmy Koi unstoppable on the Smolder. Lee Sin is out of there, but I think they're still on the hunt.
I mean, they kind of want to, right? You delay the backs long enough, and Prod actually isn't going to be able to recall and get ready for this upcoming dragon. And the dragon's really important. You put yourself on Soul Point if you are Carolina Reapers, and you also get Cloud Dragon, Cloud Point, which I think for this composition is actually really, really good, right? You get the speed ups, you get the ability to kind of chase in as much as possible, but that's going to be a kick.
Yeah, there's an insect as well, pinned against the wall. The CC chain is good. Yuumi immediately bailing out onto Romy here, trying to get away, but they're not. This is not a safer path anymore. They might get cut off here from going downwards as Midorima continues to chase. Gonna pick up that Rift Scuttler as well on their way out. I think they should be fine here, depending on how Romy tries to get back into their own jungle.
Big dubs, and I mean, it's starting to become a game of catch the carry. That's all it really is, and it frustrates me that that's what it's evolved to. This is gonna be another chance.
Yeah, here we go. Bob Timer here might have found out Midorima, but they're immediately turning around. Bob Timer taking so much damage. Yone ultimate need to use defensively here. There's the Q from the Gragas in order to deter Prod from looking for more, but 67 still in the area as well. Smolder has respawned. If they do want to look for this, it'll be a 4v5, but Smolder is rather strong.
Yeah, I mean, the Smolder is good when the rest of the team isn't going to focus you. That's why you need that Sejuani. That's why you need that that Yone in front as well as the Gragas. On the other side of it, in a 1v1 scenario, I think Jimmy Koi is going to be quite happy just kind of free firing. But look at this. Everyone's coming around the side. This is dangerous.
Yeah, as you said, so the game is find the carry. They have found the carry. It's just whether or not they can execute at this point. Looks like they're finally just backing away, not wanting to commit 100% against Romy as well. There still is a Baron up team for the most part, so they should continue. If they are going to continue, it's going to be pushing here as Midorima. He is looking for more. 67 in the area as well. Still very close here.
Yeah, it's a 4v5, but even in a 4v5 situation, you don't want to kind of bottleneck. Limerence doesn't have TP, but that shove on the top side is scaring them. You can see it. It's Doom going ahead and trying to recall, get someone on the top side, and balance out that wave. Next objective is in about 3 minutes, so 2.5 minutes of farming, 30 seconds of getting wards down, and you can kind of work your way out from there. At this point, though, Jimmy Koi is quite literally just like, how quickly can I farm? How quickly can I hit a few extra items? You already have 4 in the bucket. You need 1 more in, and maybe you have a bit more survivability. That Riftmaker is going to be good. But, I mean, highest in the game, right? 14, 5, and 3, and well-deserved for the early game that went down. Yeah.
It is really, this is an insane stat line. Because if you think about it, Vayne has really only been 8 and 6 for only a little bit here, right? Like, that stat line has very minimally changed over the course of the game, right? Like, it was 4-0 and 3, and now it is only at this stage is it 8, 5, and 6, right? Like, this is a much stark difference from what we saw in the early game from the Vayne. The Smolder has caught up. The Smolder is now out DPSing, and like you said, it's a game of find the carry. If Smolder is found first, then Vayne is getting kills. But if not, then that Smolder is running rampant through your team.
And a huge part of that is I really want to see Blonde get into the mix a bit more, right? 3, 5, and 8 has had to optimize a little bit awkwardly, right? That blue is going to be nice, but it's not going to be perfect. And you're still waiting for, I think, like Rabadons or something like that. Blonde is, we need to see that Shockwave land on, if not Smolder, or if not Jimmy Koi, you need priority members. You need at least 3 to really get in the front line.
Yeah. As now we continue to have a little bit of a dance back and forth between these two teams, not really wanting to 100% commit to either side just yet. The Baron buff has worn off as well. That's important to note, as Limerence dueling 67 down here, doing a decent chunk, but it's taking so much in response. That's really excuse me, the God, Leandries plus the Bramble Vest really doing a whole lot of work for the Udyr there.
Yeah, we're starting to see 67 become a little bit different, but honestly, right now, a lot of it is just stall. This entire time that we've been talking, it's been stall for the next objective. Neither team really feels they have the power to push, and neither team feels confident that they'll win a full team fight if things go awry. So I think it's the right call. Everyone take it slow. Wait for the Baron to come up, and honestly, the Baron is still kind of stuck on either side, right? Very little vision around either side. Take a look, Carolina Reapers. They have one ward in mid, and then one ward like close to a topside river. And then for It's Doomed, they have like a deep ward. That's about it. Like, other than that, it's dark, and this Baron could spell a lot here.
Yeah, it's a lot of Oracle wards down on the bottom half of the map there. You can kind of see one in Dragon Pit, and you can kind of see one around where Gromp is. But for the most part, that's mostly it. Like, the vision game is not doing so well for either team at this stage, as Jimmy Koi might be in trouble. Midorima getting a little aggressive here, popping that Ghost 2, looking for Bob Timer, but good job getting them away with that explosive cast from the Gragas here. Look at the top lane here. Yone is split pushing, and that's the Smolder ultimate coming across here. Prod might be in some trouble. They're still looking for a little bit more, but they've thrown so many ultimates, and none of them have landed. They're doing such a good job. There's an immediate flash forward. The Lost Chapter comes across here, looking for the snare, but can't quite find it. Limerence is coming in for the side and might be able to get a big ultimate if they can time it just right, but Jimmy Koi's going to be able to find just a catching strays here by Blonde. Just coming in here, going to be able to go and pick up this turret. They might be able to push for more here because these HP bars are really low, and Smolder is still full HP. Prod really low here. Oh my god. Moshinderu shutdown actually for the Smolder here. Then that is 67, still low HP. Romy tanking up the turret here, has to body slam away, but now it's 2 versus 5 here. They're gonna finally back here with Romy. This was a very odd fight that ended up being a victory for Carolina Reapers, and now they're peeling away.
It's just that strength of the 225, right? Like, as soon as you hit that, Jimmy Koi all of a sudden has that extra AoE damage, and if you're not careful, if you stack up, it's the worst place imaginable to be. Because of that, you get the extra kill on the Blonde, and Blonde can't do anything, so you're just running for your life. At this point, it feels good. However, this is a bit greedy. You're going to go for Baron, it's nice, but we did see Limerence look to try and get the Dragon as well. They are pushed off, so instead, it's going to be one objective. Pray it's still up on the return, because you do kind of want to fight for it as best as possible. Nope, it is taken. So Hirima was able to pick it up, and assuming to chase out, Limerence actually getting chased down.
Yeah, that's a lot of movement speed here. You're going to use that ultimate defensively here. The same from Explosive Cask as well. So they're not going to be able to find that kill this time. They're going to back away. Baron picked up by Carolina Reapers as well. Getting purpled up for the whole occasion. Still no Dragon Soul just yet on the map, but it's still looking to be pretty good. The game is a lot more even than we think.
It goes back to what we talked about, right? A single pick can change the entire scope of this game, and that's where Prod really needs to have that impact, right? Had a great early game of resonance and pressure, but after that, it's been all quiet. That's going to be an attempt at the catch, but good stun up, and Prod is out.
Yeah, Prot immediately leaving, but there's the Glacial Prison right there. Then Shield is not going to save you this time. As take a look at this top lane here. Yone is pushing really hard right now, and that's a 1v1 right now that's going to happen with 67. If they're caught out, that's going to be a whole lot of Smolder right in their face. Limerence is going to be able to pick up this turret here. Dives onto 67, looking for the fight here. Going to get that reduced healing by that Bramble Vest there, taking more damage. There's the ultimate coming through. They're taking real low. Here comes Smolder. There's the shutdown. There's the execute. And now they're looking for more Blonde. That's a double kill for the Smolder now, too. Sam running for their life. That's going to be the cleanse, the ultimate from Milio here, but they're still looking, trying to finish off this triple kill now for the Dragon. 4 kills. Doesn't even need a time wizard. This baby dragon is popping off.
Quadra kill to go ahead and end the game. Well deserved, and they're going to try and hunt in the fountain here just for a little bit of glory, but it's well played, well deserved. Early game did not go their way, but it is going to be GG. I mean, this was Carolina Reapers having a really rough early game, I would say, but they never gave up. They said scaling is on our side, and you know, maybe I should have had a bit more faith. I don't think I had a good read on that meta, because man, they came back with a vengeance.
Yeah, and this is really kind of a tale about, I don't want to say it's all about Smolder here, but it really felt like it was, right? Like a lot of why we got into here, like Smolder, you can kind of see why Smolder has a 27% ban rate on ladder across the whole world. It says this champion is insane if they're able to get to this point in the game, right? Like there were times where like, okay, Smolder can be shown to bleed a little bit, but a lot of times because of how this team was playing together and protecting the Smolder well enough, that is a champion that just cannot be touched. And I feel like that it just popped off way too hard. If this were a much more serious game, if this were a lot more on the line, I'd be like, hey, why is It's Doomed playing this game so greedy? Like, there's so many times where they're diving in 1v2 or even underneath tier 2 turrets for no reason. But this is a 1 in 3, right? Like, at this stage, we're not moving on to day 2 of OQ, so we're just having a good time.
Yep, I think that's what it chalks it down to. I feel like they would have been a little bit more together, and honestly, I appreciate it, right? If you're going to experiment, experiment now when there's no problems, and you know, for what we saw from them, it was great, and I hope to see them again. I shouldn't have been too harsh because their early game was amazing. It's just kind of, you know, compositional different. Big ups to Carolina Reapers. They were able to fight back, not in the usual standard spots, but they had a good time as well.
Yeah, and I expect to see It's Doomed again at the next OQ. Like they've been in and out of tier 2 and tier 3 play. All these players, I believe it's Prod and Blonde play a whole lot together. And they were at the last OQ as well as Team Redemption. So these folks, like, we'll probably see them again, and I really hope to see how they improve and move on into the next OQ as well. And the same for Carolina Reapers. Like, this was a really cool team to watch. And once again, this is a real good time to be a League of Legends player, because all these OQ games are so incredibly fun to watch and cast and play in, I'm sure. And this is a great time to do that. But that's going to do it for us here. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, press that subscribe button on running the Rift. So YouTube channel, we've got lots of League of Legends action for you to watch. And if you're feeling generous, maybe press that members button. Who knows? But until next time, we'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.